All right, this is Black Science TV 111. This is my boy Osei Kufuor, and we get ready to build on economics and different programs he's initiating in the community and his ultimate plan. So with that being said, I'm gonna let my brother build on what economics is.
All right, peace family.
Peace.
Black power. A lot of people was getting in touch with me lately pertaining to certain information that I had done at a past lecture in Lynchburg, Virginia. It wasn't able to be posted due to some camera malfunctions. So today I'm gonna actually distribute that information so that way, you know, a lot of people will say, well, that right there, what's that for? I'm just putting it out there because when people demand knowledge, it's not yours to hold on to. Whether it has something to do with politics, whether it has something to do with health, law, whatever, you have to give it to the people. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and it's from my book, Hidden Truth in Plain Sight.
Go get it, y'all.
It's a good book.
Might want to get that.
You can go to www.blackscience.webs.com. And the information I'm about to distribute is pertaining to Margaret Sanger. A lot of people don't know that she's the initiator of Planned Parenthood, and she made some erroneous statements in the past pertaining to black women and how they should be weeded out. So, depopulation control is an agenda for the government. Also, Henry Kissinger made the statement while he was Secretary of State for Senior Bush, who was a clone. And we'll go more in depth into that later on, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Margaret Sanger, 1879 to 1966, was the founder of the Planned Parenthood Federation of America and the International Planned Parenthood Federation. As an activist in the birth control and population control movements, she was one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. Sanger's obsession with eugenics and racism was clearly presented in her involvement of planning the first World Population Conference, which took place in Geneva in 1926. She was not mentioned on the actual program, but instead worked behind the scenes to initiate the Negro Project of 1939.
Look that up.
The objective of the project was to infiltrate the black community by presenting birth control as a health option for women to kill off the black race. Kill them off by limiting the growth of the population by abortion and sterilization. They knew that some blacks would figure out their sinister plot, so it was decided by Sanger to take the plan to the clergy and charismatic members of the black community to have them deliver the death message to their congregations. In a letter to Dr. Clarence Gamble, Sanger stated, and I quote, "We should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers, preferably with social service backgrounds and with engaging personalities. The most successful educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population."
Woo!
I'm gonna say that again.
One more time.
Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood, who Hillary Clinton got an award for and secretly admired her, well, it ain't a secret now because it's out, said that this was a great woman. And I'm going to quote, she said, "We should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers, preferably with social service backgrounds, with engaging personalities to help exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it occurs to any of their more rebellious members." You notice that Singer said the ministers should be hired. There are many black ministers today who support abortion. Most of them still receive money from Planned Parenthood. Most of them still receive money from Planned Parenthood. Churches in America who supported abortion. And if they didn't support abortion, the government was not going to give them government grants. You got to understand that the church is controlled. This is why they go to the black ministers first, because it helps them to carry out their agenda. It's deeper than what you think, people. I'm not down in Christianity. I'm not down in the church. But what I'm saying is to the people in the congregation, go and do the research and see who controls your church now. Because ancient church, the old church, if anybody in the neighborhood or in the community got into trouble, they would come to court with them. They would help them to find jobs.
Right.
You understand? It's not to say that they don't do today, but the majority of the churches in America is under 501c3 and they're controlled by the International Monetary Fund system.
And break that down for a second. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Break what a 501c is down, and why is that important? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because this term is thrown around from many different forms of conscious brothers. So what is your perspective on a 501c, and why is that important? Why is a 501c important?
Well, 501c3 is not really important. It's a mechanism or a tool that was set up by certain people to control the system that was actually helping to liberate the black community. The church was the only thing we had. You understand what we're saying? At a time where we were in a community being shot down, getting bit by dogs, being hung on trees, black women being hung on trees, pregnant black women, with the babies being beat out their womb and the skull of the baby stomped by the heel of the white man. So you have to understand that this was the only thing that we had to keep us motivated. You understand what I'm saying? But to go back into here, because you have to understand that we know about Margaret Sanger. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know that she's in the same bloodline. She's in kinship to Bill Clinton. So now I'm going to go into a little bit of Clinton history, and then I'm going to tie this in. All right? Former President Bill Clinton is also in the same bloodline as Margaret Sanger, in which it explains why in 2009, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton accepted the Margaret Sanger Planned Parenthood Award in her honor. And this is what she stated, and I quote, "I admire," and this is Hillary Clinton talking. She said, "I admire Margaret Sanger enormously for her courage, her tenacity, her vision." And she says she's really in awe of a lot of the lessons that we can learn from this woman. And this is the lady that a lot of people today is saying that they want in office, but they really don't know. See, when politicians get on TV, they are already put into a position to what they need to say. The scripts is already written. They're not saying anything from their natural morals. They have to carry. They are carrying out a specific agenda for a small group or small elite people that sit at the top, who's known as the Illuminati. Now, most people think that the biggest felony made by Bill Clinton might be that he swore falsely under oath in the Lewinsky affair. But this is peanuts compared to the real crimes undetected by most American people. It was in Oxford as a student that Bill Clinton came to hear about the one world government for the first time and what was required to be a member of this new world order. In an interview in 1994, Bill Clinton said that he'd known about the shadow government already in his youth and had been very enthusiastic to get an interest into the inner circle, and from there have the opportunity to participate in decisions regarding to the future of the world. He succeeded. The president maker, David Rockefeller, which is the Illuminati who controls the international banks. You have the Habsburg dynasty, you have the Bilderbergers, and you have the Rockefellers, and then you have many more, right? David Rockefeller met with Bill Clinton in the mid-'80s in Arkansas to prepare him for what was to come. The state of Arkansas, by the way, is a major seat for the Brotherhood elite. The South Branch of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry has its center here, and from this area, Albert Pike, research Albert Pike, a 33-degree Freemason, so-called Freemason, because we know where that comes from.
And they got a statue in D.C., by the way.
That's right. Albert Pike, a 33-degree Freemason, helped create the Knights of the Golden Circle, the infamous Ku Klux Klan.
Yes.
And by the way, these are the people who helped Margaret Sanger, the person who initiated Planned Parenthood, who a lot of black women go to abort their children. See, this is an agenda. When they tell you they can help you as far as to take care of your life situations, if you can't take care of your child, there's an agenda behind it. Because you must understand that when they abort your babies, they take these babies, and what they do is they send them to Life Bank USA to extract the DNA out of these babies. And they take the alkaloid from out of the certain or the major organs of these children, and what they do is they make medications. They do stem cell research. You understand what I'm saying? So they use your body as a function for their financial gain, and you must do your research. I'm not just here talking, all right? Now, a good friend of Bill Clinton from Arkansas named Larry Nichols was interviewed in a film. Clinton thought that Nichols would keep his mouth shut, but he didn't. He was hired by Clinton and had found out that Clinton's firm, the Arkansas Development Finance Authority, the ADFA, laundered drug money and cocaine at a value of $10 million a week, flown into from Mena Airport into Arkansas, where Bill Clinton had ties with the owner. The money was laundered via ADFA to a bank in Florida, then to a bank in Georgia, then to City Corporation in New York, and from there it was transferred out of the country. All this regarding to Larry Nichols. Larry Nichols was a friend of Bill Clinton, all right? Keep in mind. Clinton's best friend, Dan Lassiter, led the operations. Lassiter and Bill Clinton's brother, Roger Clinton, later spent time in jail due to drug-related crimes. Bill Clinton's best friend, Dan Lassiter, led the operations. Lassiter and Bill Clinton's brother, Roger Clinton, later spent time in jail due to drug-related crimes, right? The chief of police in Arkansas at that time, Doc DeLauder is D-E-L-A-U-G-H-T-E-R, said he had gathered information from many persons in Lassiter's surroundings how he smuggled drugs and abused young black girls sexually. we're dealing with. All right? During those investigations, Doc D. Lauder was harassed by persons from his own police department paid by Clinton because D. Lauder had put the information out. Right? Him and Clinton had a falling out. So he put the information out. Now we're going to see the real criminals and gangs. All right? The interesting part is, though, that when different people who were in Clinton's circle started about Clinton's affairs, they were suddenly and mysteriously died. One of them was Barry Seal, the drug smuggler. He was killed February 1987. Danny Casolaro, C-A-S-O-L-O-R-O, who investigated Clinton's involvement in stock frauds, was found dead in West Virginia. A lawyer from Washington, Paul Wiltshire, who had made an appointment with Casolaro, former attorney, was found dead in his apartment. Prosecutor Charles Black wanted more money from Clinton, who was governor at that time, to be able to continue the investigations regarding drug smuggling within Mena Airport. He got no money, but Prosecutor Black's mother was killed. Coincidence?
Killed his mother.
Right. We ain't even done yet.
Man.
John Wilson, a politician in Washington, threatened to reveal Clinton's dirty business, and he was